This is the morning momentum.
What's going on?
Hey, I'm Ethan, and I'm the no.
I can roll with it.
I was trying to go with the role, but
But they're watching us.
they're watching us.
Maybe. If you're not watching us, hopefully you've been listening long enough to know that I am the 12-year-old, and the other one is the lead pastor.
That's true. Yes, I'm Richie, and I do all sorts of stuff at Movement Church in Tipp City, Ohio. And this is Ethan.
And I do nothing.
And he does nothing except for play guitar occasionally.
And a ton of other stuff.
Hey, did you see in the Super Bowl the commercial that they had the QR code that was bouncing around the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear about that?
I watched it.
It had like 20 million scans during that commercial.
When I saw that come up, I was like, this is going to blow up. Because you can't help but not scan it.
I know.
I mean, I know two people that scanned it that were in the room. But I was like, it's going to bounce around, and it's going to hit a corner.
And everybody's going to go nuts.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh, it's crypto. They went crazy with their commercials this year.
I'm telling you, I thought that one, though, that was smart. That was good. That was smart,
smart
marketing.
one.
I think what we're going to start to see is a lot of people using stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to tell you this, though. It works one time, and then after that, you're a copycat.
That's true.
And so, but yeah, that was sweet. I love that, though. Like, I think that's the funniest thing whenever you get in that. They did it in The Office where they were all sitting in the conference room, sitting around waiting for it. I've seen it done at baseball stadiums, and I've seen it done all sorts of places. And you know what we should do?
What?
We should do that some morning here at church and just see how people react.
See if they get it.
See if they get it.
Watching it.
Yeah. Be up here preaching, and then all of a sudden everybody starts cheering, and then they walk out. Like,
I don't know. We just have to find a video and play it.
Yeah.
Or would we actually set it up and just wait?
I don't know.
See if it happens.
I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out. But I think that was pretty funny, though. I thought that one was good, and I thought the baby one was good with the finance.
Yeah.
And
they went really old school with that one.
They did go old school with that one.
Classic babies.
You know what I do miss, though?
The roller skating babies of the Evian commercials.
Yes. This is one that I miss, Ethan, and I don't know if you'd remember this or not. Maybe it's not appropriate for this morning show, but do you remember the Budweiser frogs? And they were on Super Bowl commercials for so many years. You had those. You had the Coca-Cola bears, like those are polar bears.
Iconic.
And the Clydesdales, you'd have them. I don't remember, unless I missed it, I don't remember seeing any of those three in Super Bowl commercials. And I'm telling you, there's something about the frogs, there was something about the polar bears that just said Super Bowl.
The only one that I remember, and I didn't watch all of them because I was, watching the game and getting food during the commercials. But there was like the Cheetos Doritos one seemed like the only company that was like a kind of like one that you would have seen a while ago. Like everything else, for some reason, it always seemed like crypto was a big one, but then huge. It was just like really boring companies, finance, just really getting their skin in the game.
I will say this, and maybe I'm behind the game on this one, but I did not know that Cheetos and Doritos were the same company.
It's all Pepsi.
Well, I was like, what's going on here?
Because, like, Mountain Dew, PepsiCo. Doritos, PepsiCo.
Wait, since when are Doritos PepsiCo?
PepsiCo.
Since when?
It's all Pepsi.
Oh, my gosh.
And I think Coke probably has, like, Yellow Mellow.
Ugh.
Some other ones.
That's not even real.
Yeah, all those brands that are really intense and colorful are like all Pepsi products, I think.
Huh. My kid likes Takis, and I think they're gross. That might be an unpopular opinion, but I think they're disgusting.
Have you liked, because the Flamin' Hot stuff is coming back and it's getting big?
I'm not a big, okay, the Flaming Hot Doritos, the only way that I like those is the Flaming Hot Dorito taco.
I don't know if I've had it.
It's at Taco Bell. But I think that's pretty good. But otherwise, I'm just not a, if I'm going to go Doritos, honestly, I'd probably go Cool Ranch first and then go the original second.
I think I'd go original. Cool Ranch is good. They have the buffalo and ranch ones.
Yeah, those are good too.
Those ones are good.
Yeah, I'll give it to you on that one. Yes. But this leads to my first question for you, Ethan, and for our listeners today. We posted this on social media this week and got some traction. Talk to me, Ethan. What are your favorite go-to Super Bowl foods?
Favorite Super Bowl foods? That was last week, I think. We talked about that.
Yes, it was.
We didn't bring any with us because we forgot. We should stop forgetting about bringing food.
I agree.
We should get an oven in our
You're
church.
slacking.
Hey. Anyway, I think I went with classic chips and dip.
Okay.
But you know what I did have this last Super Bowl is I got soft pretzels bites and baked them and got cheese, and that was really good to eat while watching the Super Bowl. So I think I'd say soft pretzel bites, which isn't usually in there, but it is now.
I can go for a good soft pretzel anytime.
They're amazing.
I love Annie Ann's pretzels. And I'll be honest, I have read a lot of good things about this, and I'm kind of looking forward to this, is the soft pretzels at Disney World.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard that they are heavenly, and so I'm curious how good it's going to be, but I just thought I'd drop a couple other favorite foods out there for our listeners. We had a couple people that were saying, just a good classic cheese dip.
Really?
That was what? Their go-to.
Cheese dip is good. Was buffalo chicken dip on there?
Yep, we got a buffalo chicken dip on there.
Don't even get me started on buffalo chicken dip.
Do you not like it?
It's atrocious.
I think it depends on the person that makes it. I know a couple people that's made it, and it was you just couldn't eat it. It was just ugh.
I just can't get behind it. I don't know why. It all just tastes so it's like just have wings instead of blending it all up and putting it in a bowl and dipping tortilla chips in it.
I think it just okay, I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
I don't eat buffalo chicken dip with tortillas.
That's okay. Well, what do you do? A lot of people do.
So there's two things that I've discovered. My wife taught me the one. Yep. Okay, you take buffalo chicken dip and you spread it on a whole wheat tortilla.
Okay.
And then wrap it up, and you can make little chicken wraps. So it's kind of like a chicken salad, but it's buffalo chicken. That makes for a really good, especially if you put some little green onions, maybe a little shredded cheese on it. Yep. Makes an awesome wrap. And
so
then
it's not dip anymore. So that I don't know if that would count.
It's really good. And then the other thing that you can do with it, this is what I'm saying, dip wise. Townhouse crackers. Okay. And so instead of doing tortillas. Or not tortillas, but
tortilla chips.
I'll go with the cracker, the buttery cracker.
Really?
Man, it makes it so much better that way.
It's interesting.
Yeah, so much better that way. So we had some buffalo chicken dip. The good old classic cheese dip one, I think that's a solid option. My go-to when we do something like a party or something like that is I love to do the Velveeta with Rotel in it. Okay. And maybe we get a little bit wild and we put some sausage in it. And so I can go for that. We had somebody else this one's, I don't know, I'll be honest, I've never been to a party where they served chocolate cake at a Super Bowl party, but somebody, they said that their go-to Super Bowl food is chocolate cake and potato chips.
That's interesting.
Have you had cake?
Someone's birthday party the same day.
Maybe.
Have I had cake at a Super Bowl party?
At a Super Bowl party?
No.
I have not either.
You just don't have cake. It seems like Super Bowl's more like
brownies.
Yeah. You
cookies.
do brownies or cookies.
Yeah.
Maybe. No, I wouldn't even say cupcakes.
No.
No. It's just a lot of finger foods.
Yeah.
Cake is, but they went with the sweet and salty choice with the chips.
They did. A little offsetting there. My go-to is wings. I love wings. I just actually I did something that was very against the things that I believe in during the Super Bowl party, but I ate listen to this. You know me very well, okay?
Yes.
I ate a cauliflower wing.
Really?
Knowingly that it was cauliflower.
Was it homemade or like
It was homemade. A lady in our church made it, and it had garlic parmesan sauce on it.
Was it good?
And it was fabulous. Yeah, and you know, like I am not in any shape, form, or fashion. I do not like vegetables. I despise vegetables. But man, yeah, I had that. But I would just be honest though, it's just not as good as like a good old chicken wing. But
Boneless
I don't.
or bone-in?
Oh, boneless. I don't like bone-in wings.
I think bone-in wings they're better because they're usually more like juicy or tender, but I don't know if the work is worth it.
I don't think the
versus
work,
just a fork.
the mess,
Yeah.
and just be real. Like, there's just something to say, like to lay back, like be able to sit back and take a fork, you know, pick up your chicken chunk, take a bite of it with ranch dressing all over it, and not have to worry about making a mess, not have to worry about anything else going on, and you get more meat from it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but that's my and then the cheese dip. I just, like I said earlier, I can't go wrong with that. We had somebody else. This is a very much an Ohio thing. If you're not from Ohio, you need to figure out how to get some of this. But Skyline chili dip. You take a little bit of Skyline, you take a little bit of cheese, some cream cheese, and you make a dip out of it.
It's just chili.
It's fabulous. But it's a dip.
We talked about chili, I think. When did we talked about it like last week or something?
At some point.
Because they're putting one in Springfield.
That's right. We did talk about that. But
there's like this, I guess it's a Cincinnati local. It's like I forget what it's called now, but it's like Ohio's food, like our state food or something.
Okay.
But it's like sausage and like breadcrumbs mixed together. And it's like this loaf of sausage or something weird, I think.
Interesting.
Never had it.
Honestly, it sounds kind of German, doesn't it? Like something you get at like an
I think it
Oktoberfest or something.
I think the name even sounded German.
It makes sense because there's a lot of, and I don't know if this is an Ohio thing or not, but like there's a lot of Ohio cities that have those sister cities, and they're from Germany. Like Vandalia, the one that I grew up in, it has a sister city of like Luchtenberg or something like that as its twin city.
Really?
Yeah.
It's probably like von Dockenstein.
Maybe something like that.
Probably starts with a W.
Possibly. But that's the cool thing, though, is like, it's cool that Germany is building cities that mimic the cities that I grew up in. Yeah. They're like, Ohio's got it going on. We're just going to go ahead and build cities that look exactly like them. And
Wittenberg, the college that I go to, actually influenced them to build the college in Germany.
Oh, I did, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd that go?
I don't know if they're doing as well as we are, but, you know.
Are they also Tigers?
They are a Tiger Lutheran college.
Really?
Yeah.
They are also Tigers?
Yep. They're the Wittenberg Tigers.
Well, look at that. Well, on that very note there, I want you to drop it in the chat. Let us know if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on any of our podcast streaming devices. Make sure to reach out and let us know what is your favorite go-to Super Bowl food, because it's very important to know this, especially for next year. So Super Bowl did not go the way that I had hoped it was going to go, but I believe that Joe Burrow will get us back into the Super Bowl, and next year we'll be able to celebrate another Bengals Super Bowl. And on that note, we'll be able to go back and see what is it that you told us, and we'll make sure that we have that kind of food here.
Yep. We kind of passed over the Super Bowl briefly, you know, last week, but you know, I'll say this now. I'm happy, and like I said, it was bittersweet because I was rooting for the Bengals, you know. But it's like, well, now maybe the Browns would get there first.
This guy just has wishful thinking.
I can't not.
It'll
be
never
hopeful.
happen with Baker Mayfield.
You just can't. You just don't even understand. Like as a Browns fan, you're always hopeful. You know. You wouldn't understand. You're not a Browns fan anymore.
If it's brown, flush it down.
Whoa.
Just saying.
Whoa. You know what we can talk about is the Commanders.
Oh, my goodness.
What do you think about that?
I don't know. This whole name change thing, it gets a little craziness. You got that. I have not heard a thing about what's going on with well, they were the Indians, the Cleveland Indians. Now they're the Cleveland Guardians. But, you know, that whole thing, they were fighting back and forth with a roller derby team. I don't know if that's ever been settled. But I think the Commanders, I think they may have done their research a little bit more than Cleveland did. Because that's a disaster in itself.
What, the Guardians?
Yeah.
I think the name is cool, and I think because of the statues in Cleveland, I think it's cool. And I kind of kept the same font, but I think the roller derby team is is rough. But the Commanders, I don't know. I think they look cool, I guess. I mean, it's pretty much the same colors.
I was going to say,
they're going for a more retro look, it seems, which is all right.
Look, it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I'm sitting here saying, look, if I'm going to do a rebrand of a team, I'm probably going to do a rebrand of the colors as well. Now, I get it. You know, they probably looked at it and said, well, everybody's got all their Chief jerseys and stuff. We want them to still be able to wear them to the games and whatnot. But I'm just saying, on a marketing standpoint, if you change your colors from being, it's not really red, like maroon, would you say?
Yeah, and gold.
Maroon and gold. You know, if you change your colors from being maroon and gold, now all of a sudden you're blue and white. I'm just saying, you're going to make a lot of money as a franchise because people are going to have to sell their jerseys, get new jerseys. And just on a marketing standpoint, it just doesn't make sense to not, when you rebrand the whole thing.
It's interesting.
I'm just saying.
I don't know if I would change the colors, but I mean, I guess you would get money from people buying jerseys.
Would you walk around?
People probably still buy new stuff for Commanders.
They probably will, but not as much as if they were different colors.
I think here's my Super Bowl prediction next year:
Okay.
The Browns and the Commanders.
Yeah,
That'd be crazy though.
I don't think so.
People have called them they called them the commies. How do you feel about that?
They're
I think it's
definitely
crazy because like every team, they all have their joke names. You know, Browns, clowns, whatever. But like, I mean, once they changed the name, like they already had it.
Well, but that
Like right away, they had their joke name.
I mean, when it's in the name, when you pick a name, you got to think about those things. You know, when we were naming our kids,
You were thinking about.
we made fun of the kid's name before we chose the name to see how it would go.
I mean, thinking ahead.
And you have to do the name game as well,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to make sure that if you do the name game at school, it doesn't come out bad for your kid. You know, you gotta go through all that. So if you're pregnant right now, your wife's pregnant or whoever's pregnant, and you've got maybe it's your sister, and you're like, hey, listen, you cannot go with that name because the name game cannot be done at school with that name.
Ask them what they plan on naming them, and then just start making fun of them.
Just start making fun of it. Think about any nicknames you can do, and if they get mad about it, that name should not be named. We went through quite a few names.
You guys are ruthless.
And well, you've got to think about your kid's future here, okay? Like, and you know, like it was funny because we named our oldest. His name is he's named after me, but his middle name is Peyton, and that's what he goes by. And so you know what everybody thinks. What is everybody's initial response to the name of Peyton?
I don't know.
Was he named after Peyton Manning?
Oh.
And
that's interesting.
He never liked the Colts. He never liked Peyton Manning. He was a Giants fan, which meant he liked Eli Manning.
Maybe they thought, well, his dad was always making fun of his name, so maybe they thought he named him Peyton as a joke.
I don't know. I thought Peyton Manning was great, but we never named him after Peyton Manning. But you know, that was everybody's initial question to us. Was he named after Peyton? No, he's not named after Peyton Manning. And then our best friends, their first kid, they named Eli. And so it was just funny that we had a Peyton, they had an Eli, and all this stuff. But you've gotta think about these things whenever you name your kids. You know, especially you start going biblical names. You start going biblical names, and all of a sudden you throw a name out there and you're like, oh yeah, Judas, that sounds like a great name.
Whoa.
Let's reassess that one now, shall we?
Rewind it back.
Yeah. And so, a lot of people, well, what's that mean? It's biblical. Really? Do you know
That's all
who
you
Judas
need.
was? Like,
It's in the Bible.
it was in the Bible, so it must be a good name to do. But you don't see a whole lot of people walking around with the name Jesus.
I think if someone has twins, and they want biblical, they should go with Elijah and Elisha. Because
Oh,
that'd
that
be
would be-
funny.
That would be harsh at school.
That'd be crazy.
That would be kind of funny though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely go that way. Or you can go with like, just go with something even crazier. Don't even go with the name. Just be like Lamentations. Like,
Wow.
like what is going on with this kid?
It's biblical.
Exodus.
Yeah.
It's biblical. So yeah, sometime, dude, when you got a kid, you got to think about those things. You got to be able to go back and say, okay, how could I make fun of this name?
When last week during the football one after it was over, a kid came up to me and asked me if I had a daughter. I was like, no. It was a random thing ever. But
Maybe he was the one that wrote on the prayer wall that he's looking for a girlfriend.
I have a daughter around my age.
Do you have a daughter around my age? I'm looking for a girlfriend.
I was like, no, I don't. He was like, okay, and then he walked away. I was
That's
like, that was
awesome. How many autographs did you sign after that?
None. Surprisingly enough, I have signed an autograph before, which is wild. It was at our, what was it, teen camp that I was running lights for and stuff?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
There was a bit where I went on stage and answered questions or something. But at the end of the whole thing, someone came up to me and they're like, Ethan, yeah, man. And I signed it, and then we got a picture together.
Look at you.
I was like, this is weird.
Celebrity
But all
right
right.
here. Celebrity. Well, hey, I'm going to say this. Next week when we come together next Friday, we're going to work on having a special guest for you next
Ooh.
Friday. And we might invite Pastor Doug to come join us.
Little crossover episode.
A little crossover, yeah. He's got some stories to tell you.
And we're here to make fun of him.
Some of these stories that he's
Just
got,
kidding.
I'm telling you, if you watched
have
the
good
Wednesday shift this past week, it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't, you've got time. You can go and watch it today. Look, it's Friday. We know that you're not going to do anything today. I mean, come on, really?
Come on.
You might have a meeting, but are you really in that meeting?
Pop the earbuds in. Listen to this. And when you're done with this, go to the Wednesday shift. And then just keep listening.
And then just keep listening. This week at church, we're super excited because we're going to be talking about the Armor of God Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to get stoked because then we have the 1 week countdown to Pastor Doug preaching.
Ooh.
And so he'll be preaching March 6th. And so you need to get out here for that because that's going to be so much fun. They're going to do communion, and it's going to be a great time. Ethan will be back for the first time in a couple weeks.
I will be back.
And he'll be back March 6th playing guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a good time.
I'm excited.
I will be driving between Orlando and Tampa during our service.
So what are your plans, you think, for Disney World? Because I know, I think, for me, right, you got Star Wars and you got Harry Potter, the big ones.
Well,
right?
Harry Potter's at Universal, so we do plan to do Universal day one.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get there late. The next day we're going to do Universal. We are going to do Harry Potter World. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like one of the things that I'm super excited about, and you may not even. I'm going to be surprised if you know who this is. You know how they do shows and stuff at these places?
Yeah.
Guess who has a show the day that we're there?
Hugh Jackman.
The Blues Brothers.
Really?
Yes. And so I'm pretty stoked about the Blues Brothers review and being able to watch that again. I remember watching it as a kid, and I love the Blues Brothers. I watched all the movies with my dad, and so Blues Brothers, Despicable Me. You got the Minions all there. You got some Spider-Man stuff.
The Spider-Man robot.
Yep, that shoots from building to
That's
building.
pretty crazy.
Yep. And and then Harry Potter World. And I'll be honest, I never watched Harry Potter until like 2 weeks ago, and I watched it for the very first time.
Just the first one?
I'm gonna confess, I have now watched every single Harry Potter movie.
Nice.
I still don't like them.
Growing up, I think it's kind of funny because I think a lot of people do this. Is like they watch them all over like winter break in the wintertime. They have like a Harry Potter watch party. I did it for years.
Did you?
But it was always to a point to where like it's like the fifth movie and you're like, this is just a lot. And at one point we even like hit the fast forward button towards like 1.5, just a little bit faster. Keep it going a little bit.
It's a lot. It was a lot, but I think that it'll help me understand what I'm looking at. And then after Universal, the next day we're going to be in Hollywood Studios, which means we're going to be going to Star Wars, and we're going to be seeing all the Star Wars movie. The last time we were there, they were building Star Wars World, and so really looking forward to that, and a lot of the different things they got going on there. And then we are going to be leaving Hollywood Studios that evening to go to Epcot, where we're going to have dinner. We tried to get reservations in the Space Lounge, which is really cool. If you haven't seen it, go look it up. But we ended up getting reservations at a place called Coral Reef, and it's like an underground seafood type place. And so
Speakeasy. Underground.
Yeah. And so we got that. And then the next day, we're going to meet up with some friends and do Magic Kingdom.
And then meet up with some friends and do magic.
Now you see me. Now you don't. And so then we go to Tampa, and we're just going to hang out in Tampa for a few days at the conference, do a yacht cruise. Going to go on a yacht.
Whoa.
I know. Living life to the fullest.
That's crazy.
And then we'll be back home and ready for, what is it, the 13th, I guess, would be the next Sunday. So we're excited, though. It's going to be a fun trip.
It will be fun.
So I think
I won't be there.
No, but we'll be coming live to you from Disney with one of our next podcasts.
Yep.
Which we're pretty excited about. So.
Yep.
But hey, it's Friday. You need to conquer the day. You're going to do big things. Friday. It's awesome.
I'm happy for you that it's Friday.
I'm extremely happy for them that it's Friday. You know why? Well, you know who I'm not happy for?
Who?
It's sad. Those that have to work on Saturday. Oh, that's the worst. I used to be that guy for like 10 years.
You know who you are.
Oh. But your Friday will be coming soon, I hope.
You know what it is?
What is it?
Saturday Eve.
Saturday Eve. It is. It is Saturday Eve.
You're almost done.
And we're 2 days away from Sunday, which means you need to get out and be a part of what it is that we're doing, or join us online on Facebook at The Movement 937, or you can watch on YouTube as well at The Movement 937.
We have a lot of stuff on there.
Lots of things.
If you're like, you know what, I want to watch something old, go for it.
Go back. Listen to it. Maybe right now you're on Spotify. You can go to Movement Church featuring Pastor Richie, and you're going to see on there as well those sermons. And don't forget about the Wednesday shift. And next week we will have a special guest with us on Friday. You do not want to miss.
It's going to be crazy.
Conquer the day. We're happy for you. Celebrate. It's almost March.
Almost
March, and we are excited for what God has in store for you today. Have a good one.
Have a great day.
See ya. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Richie Griffith, and I am the lead pastor and founding here at Movement Church, Tipp City, Ohio. And this ministry is made possible through your generosity. And that's right, to continue supporting the movement, you can give at the movementchurch.community. That's movementchurch.community. But you need to also make sure that you follow us on social media at the Movement 937. Be sure to hit subscribe and don't forget to hit that notifications bell. Thank you so much for listening today, and God bless you.